Happy Flow Yoga, here to guide you through a gentle restorative practice. So if you are at home, you might want to gather some supplies. I know typically we use bolsters and blocks and blankets. So if you don't have those at home, these are some of the things that I have that I recommend using. I have set up here a couple of blankets, a long body pillow, an eye mask, which is also nice and juicy and optional, a block, if you have it. If not, no worries. This is a bolster. If you have one, great. If not, we can use any type of pillow, as you see behind me. So as I usually start class, I'd like to use an affirmation deck. So on behalf of you at home, I'm going to pull a card that we can think about as we go through our practice to help us calm our mind, something that we can come back to at any point if our mind begins to wander along with our breath. So the card for today's class, let's see. Oh, this is great. Wherever I look, I see something to be grateful for. That is something really important that we should remember at all times. So I'll push these over to the side. And for today's practice, we're just going to begin in a nice, easy seat. So whatever that easy seat means for you. You can find yourself in a crisscross applesauce. Maybe you're more comfortable with your legs out in front of you. However you would like to start your practice. If you begin to notice that your knees feel uncomfortable, if your hips are uncomfortable sitting in your seat, you can place some folded blankets or maybe pillows underneath the knees. And we can begin with our hands on the knees. And begin to close your eyes. And from here, just start to notice your breath. We're simply observing in the moment, paying attention to the inhales and following the exhales, feeling the breath as it travels through your body. And as you sit in your comfortable seat, with your eyes closed or a soft and gentle gaze, begin to follow that breath as it enters through the nostrils. Perhaps it flows down through the throat, filling your lungs, all the way down to the belly. And follow that breath as you gently exhale through the nose, as the air makes its way out from the belly, out from the lungs. Maybe creating a warmth as it travels out through the nostrils on your upper lip. Begin to feel the breath as your body slows down. Perhaps your mind begins to calm. And at this point, if you would like to set an intention for your class, you can choose this time for a word or a phrase. Or maybe you want to come back to that card that we chose at the beginning. Wherever I look, I see something to be grateful for. And as you continue to slow the breath by breathing in and out through the nose, feel your sits bones root down into the mat or into your towel or blanket, rising up through the spine, reaching up to the ceiling through the crown of your head.
Now can I go?
And if it feels good, you can bring one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart. Taking a moment here to connect with the breath and connect with your heartbeat. Together, let's take a nice full inhale through the nose and audibly exhale through the mouth. We'll do two more just like that. A nice full inhale through the nose and fully let go through the mouth. And one more full breath in through the nose. And let go through the mouth. Coming back to your natural breath. Release the hands back down to your knees. And pause here, simply observing the breath once more. Noticing if it has changed at all from the breath that you first observed when you first sat down in your comfortable seat. On your next inhale, begin to blink open the eyes. You can roll the shoulders up towards the ears and back down. Please edit this out. Harlan, upstairs please. We already talked about this. Thank you. I appreciate your understanding. Then when you're ready, you can release the hands, remove the blocks or pillows that are underneath your knees. We're going to set up for a nice, gentle side opening pose. So if you have a bolster, you can use that. Or if you would like to use a pillow, a rolled up blanket, it's completely up to you. Whatever's going to feel comfortable for you here. I like to use a blanket to fold underneath my neck between the ear and the shoulder to support the neck, help you relax into the pose. So for today, I'm going to use this large body pillow, lying it down like a T on my mat. Blanket's going to be folded up in between my shoulder and my ear. And I'm going to start with the right hip down. Knees can be bent and staggered so you don't have to worry about rolling forwards or back. And then begin to drape your side body over your bolster or your pillow, extending that bottom arm out. Depending on how many pillows you use, you can stack them up as high as you'd like as you rest your head on the bicep or on the folded blanket. Begin to feel those top ribs expand and open with each breath, helping your body to move some of that stagnant energy around. And you have the option of staying right here with your top hand resting on your hip or placed down in front of you. Or if you'd like, you can explore what it feels like to lift that top hand up and over, reaching for those bottom fingertips, wrist, elbow, or anywhere else along the way, as long as your shoulder agrees that this feels good. If at any point you feel pinching or pain, simply guide that hand back down to your side body or place it down in front of you. Letting your body fully relax. Using your props to help you feel safe and secure. As you settle in, begin to come back to your breath. Following the inhales, following the exhales. If your mind begins to wander, gently guide it back to your breath. Gently guide it back to the intention that you set at the beginning of class. And begin to bring a nice full inhale through the nose and release through the mouth. If your top hand is reaching over to the bottom hand, begin to guide it back down to your side body. And when you're ready, place it down in front of you so that you can lift up your body. Finding your way, taking your time, being mindful of all movements here as you make your way back to your comfortable seat. From here, we're going to set up onto the other side, bringing your bolster down. You can bring the bolster to the opposite side of the mat or go ahead and flip onto your other hip. Staggering those knees, bring over that blanket if it felt good. You can try it on this side. And then extend your body down as you drape over the bolster, making sure that the bolster or pillow is not too high in your armpit area or not too low in your waist, but right in the ribs so that when you drape over, again, you feel that expansion in the top ribs, reaching out with the bottom hand. And then because our bodies are not symmetrical, see how this side feels. You can explore reaching that top hand up and over. But really listen to your body. See how this body feels. See how this side feels, the shoulder along the way. And with any pose, you are never stuck. If something does not feel good at any point, even if you're halfway through, give yourself permission to come back to something that feels comfortable, something that feels relaxing. When you find that comfortable and safe pose, again, come back to the breath, allowing yourself to melt into your props and into your mat. And then together, let's take a nice full inhale through the nose. And audibly exhale through the mouth. If your top arm is extended, gently guide it back down to your side body. And then when you're ready, press down into the mat or into your prop to lift your body up. Once again, finding your comfortable seat. And take this time here, set your props aside, And find some movement that feels good for your body. That could be some seated cat-cows with your hands on your knees. Rounding the back and dropping the chin as you exhale. Inhale, pushing the belly out and lifting the gaze. Moving through with the pace of your breath. And you can come back to your center, finding any other movement that feels good. And then we're going to set up for a supported child's pose. So if you'd like to take your pillow or pillows, lifting up your main pillow as high as you would like to elevate your body. Get creative here. It's what we're doing at home, finding our creativity in our yoga poses. Then you're going to bring your big toes together, knees out wide, as you somewhat straddle your long pillow. If this feels like it's a lot of pressure on the knees, you can lay a blanket underneath the knees, or if it feels like your hips are hanging down and not really connecting with the feet and it's uncomfortable, take a blanket, a folded blanket, place it in between the glutes and the feet, and feel that comfort and that support from your blanket. When you're ready, take a nice full inhale through the nose. And on your exhale, walk the hands forward, resting your chest and your belly onto your bolster, holding on to what feels good. So you might be hugging the pillows underneath you. You can extend your hands out or any other arm variation that feels comfortable. And then fully relax, releasing into the pose. You can have your chin down, or if you would like, you can drop one ear down, and I'll let you know when it's a good time to switch ears. And as we hold poses for several minutes at a time, you might begin to notice that your body's releasing into the pose. So give yourself permission to adjust and readjust to make sure that the pose is doing the best for you. And if you have one ear down, now is a good time to switch ears. So if you'd like, you can bring the hands underneath the shoulders to press your chest up. Readjust your body a little bit. Readjust your props. And then when you're ready, drop back down, resting the opposite ear down. Take this time in this gentle forward fold to really come back to your breath. Maybe you notice it bouncing back at you. You can also take this time to really bring your gaze inward. then together, let's take a nice full breath in through the nose and audibly exhale through the mouth. Begin to walk the hands underneath the shoulders as you press your chest and belly off of the pillow or the bolster. Removing a blanket if it's behind the knees, under the feet. Taking a moment here to come back to your seat. Find some movement that would feel good for you here. If that's your seated cat-cows, maybe some hip circles feel good, as large or as small as you'd like. Inviting a little bit of gentle movement back to your body. And if you're doing your hip circles, make sure to switch directions. All right. Now from here, we're going to set up for a gentle chest opener. I'm going to use a rolled up blanket for my chest opener. If you want to use a bolster, you can do that. You can use a couple of pillows, whatever feels good for you. So I'm going to use a rolled up blanket underneath my mid to upper back. It's going to be in between the shoulder blades. And then I'm going to use this blanket, this pillow, to support underneath my knees. And it'll also help to support my lower back, so I'm not putting too much weight into my lower back. And it's exciting, we get to use our eye mask if you have one. So let's settle in here, adjusting as much as you need so that you feel completely supported. If you notice that your head feels like it's hanging too far from the mat, bring the earth closer to you. You can rest your head on a blanket. The main important idea here is that you're comfortable, you're supported, and that you can hold these poses for several minutes. So as you recline down, finding that sweet spot in between the shoulder blades, begin to drop the head gently towards the mat. Maybe you have a blanket, maybe you have another pillow. And then allow yourself to settle in. Arms can be in any variation if you would like to have them out to a T, cactus arms or goalpost arms, or up above your head. Also a great option is to connect with the body, the belly and the chest once again, noticing the heartbeat and the belly breath. And then allow yourself to settle in here. Begin to relax. Let your body melt into those props as you start to feel heavy with relaxation. begin to take a full breath in through the nose and sigh it out through the mouth. You can bring a bend to the knees with the soles of the feet on the mat. And gently pressing yourself over to one side as you lift your body off of your props. You can lift yourself up enough here to slide your props to the side. And if it feels good, you can recline back down and bring the knees into the chest and give yourself a little bit of a hug. You can rock from side to side to massage the lower back and the muscles along the spine. Now we're going to get to the good stuff. We're going to find our way into legs up the whatever you have. So that could be legs up the bolster. It could be legs up the pillow, legs up the wall. I'm going to show you legs up the chair. I'm going to use a pillow underneath my hips to help raise the hips up, so when I bring my legs up, the lymphatic fluid can make its way from my lower extremities down, not pooling in the hips, but able to make its way all the way towards that thoracic duct. So I'm going to put this pillow underneath my hips. Option to have a blanket underneath the head. And you might want to have that eye mask handy again. Swinging the legs up, whatever prop it is that you have, making sure that you're supported with a blanket or a pillow underneath your hips as you recline back down onto your mat. Now you might want to lift up the legs to make sure that you feel even, you feel comfortable. You can lift the hips. And once again, find a comfortable arm variation here. That could be hands down by the side, connecting with the body, or anywhere else along the way. And with your legs elevated up above the heart like this, it helps to calm the nervous system. It helps to get us out of the fight or flight mode. Taps into our parasympathetic nervous system. This is a great time to revisit the intention that you set at the beginning of class. Taking a moment to remember why it is you showed up on your mat today. Allowing yourself to breathe fully in and out through the nose. Finding that gentle rhythm of the breath. Gently begin to bring your awareness back to your breath, and back to your space. You could begin to bring awareness back to your body as you wiggle your fingers and your toes. You roll your wrists and your ankles. And maybe it feels good to reach the arms over the head to find a big stretch. And when you're ready, you can roll over to your favorite side and hold here in a fetal position for a breath or two. And only when you're ready, press into that top hand so that you can lift yourself up. Once again, finding your comfortable seat. And keeping your eyes closed or a soft and gentle gaze, bring your hands to your knees. It's hands down for grounding, palms up for receiving. Or you can bring your palms together at heart center. I want to thank you for taking this time to show up on your mat, to focus on yourself, to focus on your healing, so that you can better serve your community, your family, and you. It is always an honor to be able to guide you through your practice, and the light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you guys. I'll see you soon.